what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Keely Beats. You can just call me Ack. And today we're going to be doing more of like a pop pain rod wave tutorial. I think a lot of his more recent singles have been leaning towards that kind of pop vibe. It's still very much pain, but I'm going to show you how to get that sound. Let's just get into it. So the first thing that's most important, gotta have the BPM between like, honestly, just keep it at 100. I keep it around like 98 to 102, anywhere in that range. But first, we're gonna start off with the melodies. So first thing, on all my guitars, I got this guitar right here, little Telecaster, beautiful little Telecaster, beautiful instrument. But what I'm doing is I have it in Wave Show, but I'm really just using a delay plugin. It's a H delay. I'm putting it on ping pong, so it'll go from ear to ear. Setting the dry wet to like 33, and then I'm putting the feedback up pretty high to 64. Not messing around with the filters because I don't really want it filtered on the delay. Then I'm adding this effects from Omnisphere. It's one of the guitar presets, Intoxicating Clean Dry. Turn off the BritVox because I don't want the amp sound. And this is what the guitars sound like. And then I'm playing some palm mutes, and I'm playing the exact same melody 2 times over, pitching one all the way to the left, which you can see here, and one all the way to the right, which you can see here, putting them to the same mixer track, and it has the exact same thing, the delay and the same amp simulation from Omnisphere. And I'm also adding a little EQ to get rid of some of the loads, because whenever you're palm muting, you'll get a lot more like, almost like percussive sounds in the lows. You can just hear the layer with a bunch of delay, and that'll just add a really cool effect. But then I'm adding just some little accent leads. And the way I'm doing this is, again, I'm just freestyling in the pentatonic scale, so I'm doing a little bit of calm response. So all that is you're playing kind of like a question with the first melody, so you're not resolving it, which you can hear here. Like it's like bum bum ba dum. And then I'm going bum bum ba dum with the final little guitar. So it's like a way, like it's almost like a musical way of talking with each other. But this is what it all sounds like before I add in the chords. And it kind of sounds a bit directionless, and this is where the chords come in. And what you need to do with these guitar melodies, especially with these chords, is you need to make sure that you're playing 2-note melodies. Sorry, trying to get my hair looking right. But basically, all you're doing is on the guitar, I'll show it right, is instead of playing like full guitar chords where like you're doing like a full E major, like, you're really just going to play the bottom note and the middle note, and you're really just going to do those 2-note chords. Because the thing with a lot of pop melodies is they're not using like 7th, 9th, and 13th chords, anything complicated. So just doing these 2-note chords will get you just pure major and minor chords, which will sound really good. And paired together with kind of the melodies that you don't really know where they're going, will just give it a lot more direction. So I'm just doing that. Then to show it out visually, you can see I add a piano here. So you can see here, these are the chords I'm using: an F sharp minor to a G major, then a B minor to an A major. Really, you can also see I'm doing a 7th chord here, but that's not really important. But there are a few things I keep in mind whenever I'm doing these melodies. So first, I kind of like any chord progression that's like this, where it's just for this example, G, B minor, A major. I love that chord progression where it starts low, then it goes high, high, and descends back down. It sounds like that. So I love that kind of chord progression, but I wanted to spice it up a little bit, so I just added in a minor chord right before the G major. It's just a really nice sounding chord progression, and it's one that's not used all the time in these pain songs, but like I said, I'm really just trying to keep to simple major and minor chords. I do have some extensions here, but I don't really count it because I'm doing a different technique for that. But then there's some things that I do in basically all my piano melodies for pain, so I'm making sure to have at least 1 or 2 notes that are constantly repeating. So I'm doing that with the F sharp and the A right here. You can see I mean, that's really the main melody that's going on. Just having these notes that constantly recur over and over again will add just a lot of repetition to the sample, and repetition is what kind of makes things catchy. So if you don't have a guitar, quick plug, at kits.com, you can get my new Karma Pain multi-kit. Has, like, you can see 50 guitar starters, 40 piano starters, bunch of lead guitars. You can see, I think, over nearly 300 of them. You can see my full leads and mid leads and high leads, hundreds of them. So if you don't have a guitar, this will really help out if you want to make these kind of pain beats. Even if you have a guitar, it's some really cool leads in there. If you don't play keys that well, I have a bunch of piano midis in here as well. Just something you can look at too. There's a demo for it below. You can also get the full version. I really appreciate it. I'm doing a discount on it right now. But I know you don't really care about that, so let's just get into the drums. So I always start off with the 808, and I just do the little, that little 3-hit, the bum, 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 just always sounds good. I use that in all these beats because, like I said, we're getting this double time feel, so we're having the 808 go really fast, but then we're going to delay the snare an entire beat off. So what we're doing is essentially skipping an entire beat with the snare. Typically with one of these beats, you'd go like this. You'd have the snare on all these spots, and I go. But you can hear that almost sounds like West Coasty, and it doesn't leave a lot of room for the rapper because with these kind of pain pop melodies, you're not doing an insane amount with the guitars, but there isn't a lot of space there. So you can't do too much with the drum. So we're taking away a lot of snares, and that just opens up the space. Then you can see I'm also getting a second snare, and all I'm doing with that is I'm just going here, going to the 1 second step. I'm really just putting on these off beats. You can see I have none on these big white lines. I have them all on the in-betweens. So really just kind of throw snares in random in-between places, and you'll eventually find a really cool rhythm with that. And it's really important to have the velocity low. So before one of the big snares, which you can see is going to hit right here, I'm making sure to turn down the velocity on this one because it will just accent it really well, and you don't want to take away too much from that snare coming afterwards. But then for the hi-hats, I do this all the time at this point, but all I'm doing, the technique, is I just put the hi-hat, put the second one right here, drag the velocity down, then I really just copy these over and over and over and over again, and then I'm clicking Alt-R, changing the velocity in the pan, and it'll just randomize it. And you can just hear how much of a difference it makes to play around with the velocity. Versus this. It just completely changes the bounce of it because you have the velocities going so low. But that's for the hi-hat in the second part of the chorus. Now for the typical bouncy one, I'm really just going to the same 2-step thing that I was doing. I went up here, go to 1/2 step. Then I'm really just kind of putting in random places. So I wish there was some kind of trick I could teach you for these kind of pain beats, but to be honest, I like doing things by ear. I like singing things out. So I went like kind of like that with my mouth, and then you just replicate it. I don't know how else to put it, but with these little hi-hat rolls, I always like holding down the right click and then dragging it down to get kind of like a fading effect, but you're not doing anything too crazy with the hi-hat. And then we're going to add an open hat, and something that's really important is to do it on a lot of the 808s. So you can see here, I'll take these, copy them over to the 808, wherever that is. And you can see they basically all line up with an 808 hit. You can see this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Every single one of them lines up on an 808 hit. So you really want to make sure to accent 808s with the open hats because it'll just make them sound a lot brighter. Because in a lot of ways, you're kind of taking a West Coast bounce, because in a lot of West Coast beats, you like doing the open hats on the 808s. You like doing it around, 95 to 100 BPM, because in the end, you're getting this really unique rhythm where it sounds both slow and fast at the same time. And the way you're getting that is through these snares and the hi-hat and the 808 all contrasting with each other. But then I'm adding this really good riser, and this is how it transitions from the intro to the drop.
Come on, may I tell you something?
Now, if I'm being honest, this is one of the cleaner mixes I've done. And like I say in every tutorial, bro, just stop doing all this crazy stuff with your mixing. All I have are some nice EQs. Get rid of the lows and a lot of your sounds. And the samples, don't cut them out completely. As you can see here, I'm using a low pass, just taking out about 14 dB. Because if you take out too much of the bass, it's just going to sound lifeless. So as you can see, like, let's look at this. Take out the bass completely. Sounds lifeless. But if you have too much, it's too thumpy down low. So we're just going to take it down, like I said, 14 dB. And it just lightens it up a little bit, takes away some of the mud in it. And it just sounds great. Like, getting all these guitars going together will just sound beautiful. Go into each one, take out the lows, take out some of the low mids, and it'll just sound a lot better. And it'll leave a bunch of room for your 808 to really knock through. Then for the master, you know me. Parametric EQ, turn it up a little, boost the highs, soft clipper, you're done.